Hello everyone, I'm really sorry this isn't gonna be an actual video today. I'm breaking my own rule a little bit because I didn't really want to do vlogging, but something happened and I really need to talk about it a little bit, not only for myself but for those around me as well. And there is a reason for the Bill and Ted t-shirt today, which I will talk about in a minute. So, little update on the last little bit. I know I said last week that I'd have a video out and I'm going to a wedding and blah 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 and doing a whole bunch of stuff. Well, okay, so it's Tuesday. I got to Tuesday and realized I don't have anything for my video for this Friday. Shit. So, what I was actually planning on doing was actually something in the kitchen, and I haven't been able to get the energy to prep anything, so kind of fell to the wayside, and I was debating on doing something else and then decided that this was a little bit more important for everyone really involved. So I did mention also that I was going through a couple things in my last behind the scenes video. Basically something pretty upsetting happened and not very happy about it. What ended up happening, like, I'm not going to talk about the actual situation, but I will talk about the personal fallout that I ended up having to go through. But I also have a couple other things. I think I had said a little while ago that I had gotten a job. I ended up getting injured and had to quit that job because all of the steps that I took to prevent my injury still didn't work. So 2 nurses and a doctor are like, how the hell did this happen? I'm like, I don't know, I did this, and this, and this, and they're like, yeah, we would have recommended all of that, and I still got injured, so I ended up actually quitting that one. But I got a call back yesterday from an interview that I had a couple weeks ago, and I have a job. I'm so excited. Full-time again! Oh my god, it's so exciting, because honestly, I started this YouTube project mostly to keep myself from going crazy while unemployed. And it hasn't totally worked. But yeah, so I will still be devoting time to this as well. I will still be devoting time to everything else. The only thing is I do have to put off my website and my Etsy. I hope to have it on by Comic-Con, which, okay, so that's my Comic-Con, not San Diego Comic-Con. Our Comic-Con is the weekend before Halloween, because the Halloween is on the Monday this year. So I hope to have it up by then. And then, so now I just want to talk about the reasons why, aside from the job, that I actually have to postpone these things. The fallout of what happened to me, by the way, I'm really sorry if I start crying. Also, a little warning, if you are not in a good space right now, I'm going to mention suicide, I'm going to mention depression, I'm going to mention anxiety, possibly panic attacks in there. I haven't actually planned out what I'm saying. But it might not be good for you to keep watching right now. If you think you're okay and you end up not being, I'm really sorry. And I know exactly what you're going through. And if I start crying, well, we know why. What ended up happening with the personal fallout for this was I ended up actually having to kind of close myself off from everybody. So I ended up not having the energy yet to move out of my bed for a number of days. Yeah, there it goes. And that's why I haven't really been able to prep anything, because I just haven't had the energy, and it's been rough. And I started thinking, like, what happened was that somebody hurt me. That's the only thing that I'm going to say very specifically to the actual situation. What ended up happening with that is I started thinking some really terrible things about this person, and these feelings and these thoughts that I was having towards this person, they very much conflict with everything that I am on a personal level. Sorry. Most of the reason I want to talk about this is because everyone that knows me personally knows that I'm very open about the fact that I do suffer from depression, and that I have for a number of years now. And I want you to know that you're not alone. Because, I mean, I know I'm kind of at fault for this one, but for the last couple weeks I've really had to kind of go back to that very alone feeling because of just how much everything hurt. I'm sorry, I'm not editing this because I want you to see how much it sucks. I know a lot of people who suffer from depression and anxiety and everything, and I know a lot of people who don't, and quite a few of the people who don't understand that they don't know what goes on in our heads, in our homes, in our thoughts, everything like that, and they're willing to listen, and honestly, they're the real MVPs. Thanks, guys. And for everyone that is suffering, you're not alone. Quite frankly. I'm quite clearly in the middle of it right now. And so I've had to kind of close myself off and kind of create the mask of what I normally am on an everyday basis while I kind of heal up for myself. So I'm about 30% done. And then, okay, so getting back to, the feeling and everything. So part of this was that I was feeling very terrible thoughts towards this person, very terrible feelings that very much conflict with who I am. I'm the kind of person that I see what's happening in Syria, and not only do I get scared, but it's heartbreaking. I see, hate crimes going on anywhere, and it hurts on a certain level that I can't totally explain. And so, thinking these thoughts and feeling these feelings towards this person that very much conflict with everything that I am, it's been very, very difficult. And so I've been kind of trying to heal from that. And so I do realize that I do need professional help. And I have to go get a note from my doctor, I think, so, and I have an appointment with him anyway, so we're good. It just has to actually happen. So then from there, kind of going through these feelings, something kind of snapped inside, and I'm like, wait a second, this is what Anakin felt. Anyone who has issues with the prequels, I know, I actually really hated episode 3, but I got a really, really scary and uncomfortable understanding of Anakin in episode 3, and that's terrifying. It really is, because it's not quite revenge, but you really want to hurt them in a way that they hurt you, and you feel very much betrayed, and you feel essentially ripped apart. And it's been very difficult for me. You can probably tell because I'm still crying. And it's a very, very scary feeling when you can, look at this villain who, killed a bunch of children at that point and understand what was going through his head. It's very, very scary. I can promise you that I have not hurt any children. In fact, I haven't even heard any crying in my hallways the last little bit, so yay! I haven't actually needed to. But it's been a very eye-opening and very scary experience the last couple weeks for me. And let me just say, when you realize, when that clicks and you identify with that villain, like, we all love villains. Like, we all love Professor Snape. We all love, to an extent, the Joker. Like, we all love villains. But to be able to identify with them on that kind of level it's not comfortable. And it's scary, and my heart's racing now, just even talking about it, because it's just that scary. It really is. And I hope that you never have to feel it, because this sucks. It sucks a lot. And so, yeah, that's what I've been dealing with the last couple weeks. And then also the anxiety of, I'm jobless. And so, because of everything that I've had to go through in the last couple weeks, I do have to postpone a bunch of stuff, which I feel really crappy about. But you kind of gotta work with what you got, right? So yeah, just a reminder, if you are suffering from depression, if you are having suicidal thoughts or anything, you're not alone. I know those hotlines aren't necessarily the best. I've heard some pretty terrible stories from them. But I've had a few situations that I've had to call them, and they've been great for me. So, I mean, even if it's just to keep you occupied for, you know, a little bit until you can find somebody else that you trust to be with you, please call them. Again, like, I know they're not the greatest. I ended up going to a crisis stabilization, was that 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I don't even remember. And the nurse there, this is a nurse, actually ended up asking me, well, what do you eat? So I didn't really stay there because, well, I need to eat. Keeping me safe is one thing, keeping me, you know, safe and healthy, completely different thing when you apparently don't know what you're doing for your job. So that's never good. Sorry, it's just kind of run of emotions right now. But yeah, I want you guys to know that you're not alone, and it really sucks. Everyone who knows me knows that I'm very open about this. I didn't necessarily want to bring it to my YouTube, but after specifically the last like weekend, it's been really rough on me, and it's been tough. Yeah, so, and then with everything that I've been falling behind on a lot of things as well, and everything's a little bit broken right now for me. And yeah, so I'm gonna go continue getting ready for this wedding this weekend, and then we'll kind of go from there. Hopefully next week I will have an actual video again. I do have a few things planned out with a few people, and things will have to kind of get shuffled around because I now have a full-time job, but hopefully I'll be able to actually plan things out properly and go from there and get some stuff ready for if ever I like get the flu or something and can't do anything for weeks at a time. And so I hope to see you around next week, and you know, keep playing your Pokemon Go, keep sewing, send me some pictures. Honestly, even if you want to send me pictures of your cat right now, that is great. I am allergic, so I don't have one myself, but I love seeing cats do stupid shit because it's funny. And, yeah. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.